Доброе утро. Доброе утро, баба Луша, Иван Иванович и ваша семья. Уважаемые гости и все братья и сестры. Меня зовут Витя Ролков, и это моя подруга Селина Маркина. Добро пожаловать на открытие нашего молодежного фестиваля. С удовольствием открываем и будем вести нашу утреннюю программу фестиваля.
Good morning. We welcome everyone to the 71st Annual USCC Union of Youth Festival. The theme we have chosen for this year is exploring our roots culturally and spiritually. My name is Selena Markin, and this is my cousin and friend Victor Ralkoff. So before we start, we'd like to advise you of a boil water advisory in this area, so we ask that you do not drink the tap water. You'll find water dispensers located in various areas like the bathroom and downstairs. And also, somebody forgot their car keys in the women's bathroom, so they're in Edie's office. So to begin our morning program, we have the Children's Sunday Meetings families. These are families that participate in and support Doukhobor learning spiritually, culturally, and historically. These families learn about their Doukhobor roots and heritage, learn how we pray through a millennia, and about the meaning behind our psalmi and hymns. In all the contexts of activities, discussions, lessons, and social outings, they are joined by their friends from outlying communities who participate with them in these activities when they can.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our beautiful center, to our extraordinary part of the world and our collective community of spirit wrestlers. We are Doukhobor families who make a commitment to learn about ourselves, about the gift of our past, and about what it means to be a Doukhobor today and into the future. Our Sunday school meetings are a unique moment of our week where we strengthen the bonds of our community, support our personal growth, and bolster our spirit. A good afternoon as well to our dear Babushka Lusha, Dada JJ, and the rest of the Bergen family. Мы очень рады, что вы здесь. Большое вам спасибо за то, что вы вас поддерживаете со своими добрыми словами и с вашим участием с нами сегодня.
What is our blessed home, our haven of refuge? Is it this building? Is it where we lay our head every night? Is it Mother Earth? Is it our body, the temple that holds our spirit, or is it perhaps the place where belief in God and the teachings of Jesus Christ reside? How does the spark of the divine present in each person serve to guide us in our lives? These and our other questions drive our discovery and learnings when we get together on Sundays. We will read Domnash Vladane, our blessed home together, Zapevaya Evan Shilbadeo. Our life on earth is a complex package of extraordinary experiences and relationships, wherein we encounter the full spectrum of human emotion. We come upon times that are both exhilarating and difficult. In those difficult times, how do we keep grounded in what might be a terrible storm? Our faith reminds us that our belief in the Holy Spirit keeps us sheltered and guides us through those difficult impasses. Moi Boskala, God is my refuge, is led by Katya Relkov and Anastasia Verrigan.
Добрый день, все братья и сестры. As older people of our Sunday School collective, we are moved to keep attending despite our incredibly busy lives because we have come to understand the long-term value of what we do on a weekly basis. When our official spiritual gatherings come to an end every year in May, we have the opportunity to reflect and quite literally see the results of our sustained efforts over time. This year, once again, we are releasing our cherished graduates from the bonds of early morning Sundays. Each of our graduates is a thoughtful, grounded, and gifted human being and a product of an extended network of parents, grandparents, friends, and relations, both genetic and created. We are truly proud of our graduates, and I can confidently state that these 5 young people are amazing and will continue to discover the gifts bestowed upon them in this life to better the world. Andreas Tarasov, Adam Markin, Yana Woods, Daria Sukavev, and Emma Connolly were all honored 2 weeks ago at a celebration attended by those people who make up their support structure and by our Sunday School community. We reiterate our wishes for them of continued self-discovery, grounded in a foundation of Doukhobor understanding. We will miss your regular attendance, but wish you the best of life's experiences, which might include some Sunday morning sleep-ins. During our graduation celebration, we also had the pleasure of Auntie Laura's company, along with JJ's. Their effort to be there to support our graduates was very much appreciated. Along with a gift of money, they spoke kindly and generously, acknowledging the efforts of our grads. Every year, the Sunday school children offer them a gift as well. This year, the group collaborated to create these beautiful works of art that you see down here. So take some time in your day to have a close look at these incredible works of art. The children were very happy that you took the time to be with them. We love you both very much. What we have with our spiritual family at Sunday school is fairly unique in the world. There are many gifts that show up in our collective. We would like to take the opportunity to acknowledge and thank those people who are an important thread to our continued understanding of who we are and to our sense of connectedness. Thank you to our many grandparents who support us every week with their presence. You set the example of how to be in the world, and your perspective and experience help to enrich ours. Unfortunately, we've had to say goodbye to one of our dear babushki this year. Nolan Zaitse's Baba Laura was a shining standard of the Doukhobor ideal, and her joyful presence is missed. There is one person in our group who, more than anyone else we can think of, uses their gift to better our world. This person exemplifies a life of selfless contribution, which bolsters our group's connectedness and sustains our movement forward. This person manages our annual schedule, chooses our songs, reminds us of protocols, reminds us about our regular celebrations, reminds us why we wear platki, sends us emails of community events that are relevant to us, sends us emails of our own events, sends personal emails to families in Grand Forks, Vancouver, Victoria, Calgary, and Kelowna, and who knows where else, to invite their participation and maintain connection. And we have Vancouver, we have Kelowna, we have Penticton on the stage, we have Grand Forks on the stage, Winlaw. This person makes recordings of our songs, makes lasagna, runs our malenya, unlocks the doors, locks the doors, and runs Sunday school lessons. This person is welcoming to all ages and walks of life, making sure all feel included, is nurturing, sits young children on her knee, is quick to praise others, builds us up, takes on seemingly mundane tasks with grace, fulfills them willingly, and advocates for children and parents in our organization. She teaches gratitude by example, models spirituality and Doukhoborism at its finest, loves without measure, and is our exemplar of a gifted life used to better the world. You might think that the sheer amount of knowledge, resources, and stamina that this person has at her fingertips and the amount of time spent supporting our group can only belong to a freshly retired, experienced senior citizen. If that is what you think, you are wrong. If you haven't yet guessed whom we are talking about, I'll give you one more hint. This person has left an indelible mark in our fabric. Mark in our fabric. Mark in our fabric. With her youngest child graduating this year, we will need to figure out a way to fill the very large shoes left by her. Lisa. Lisa Markin. What would we ever do without you? What will we ever do without you? What will we ever do without you? I guess that's a problem that we will have to solve ourselves. Thank you for the countless efforts you have made on our behalf. With all that you have done, we will not allow you to buy your own gift of appreciation. Although there is no gift big enough to represent all that you have done, we trust that you will appreciate the gesture. And we hope you continue to visit our Sunday school meetings. And we wish you the best of life's experiences, which might include some Sunday morning sleep-ins. Lisa, this is for you. It's just a small gesture.
They think they got rid of me. We're coming back in September. I keep telling them, you didn't get rid of us yet. Thank Thank you so much, you guys. This is so special, but it does take a village and a team. So you've singled me out, but
Well, I was thinking it takes a village to raise a child, for sure. I know that for sure. But it takes a Lisa to raise a community. That's what I've come to understand.
thank you.
Chota Lisa so aptly lives the message of our final hymn. Our life is a gift that is meant to be used to better the world. Using our gifts, we comfort those when needed, we seek divine truth and love without measure. The message of our hymn, although written in 1890, is relevant today perhaps more than ever before. Do you recognize the gift you've been given? If so, then how do you move into action to better the world? Nam жизнь дана, чтобы любить, запевает Катя Рокова и Анастасия Веригина.
Spasibo za vнимание. Thank you for being a part of our experience and enjoy the rest of the festival.
Thank you, dear children and parents, for your beautiful singing. We are very proud of you and all your efforts. We hope you always continue to cherish your faith, heritage, just as you do now, with a sparkle in your eyes and hope in your hearts. We now welcome Donna Semenov to sing a psalm she has composed herself. Пожалуйста, Авдотья Семенова.
Добрый день. In 2011, I wrote a psalm, a love meditation, and it is my desire to share it with you here today. Господи благослови. Life is full of decisions, big and small. It's okay? Okay. So it was interesting. I was writing an email actually to a friend, and it turned into this psalm. Sort of came by accident, and I think I had it done within a day or two. Okay. Господи благослови. Life is full of decisions, big and small. Let us make the ones that are best for all, for ourselves and our children, for our families and the world. Let us widen our heart space deep within, for the choice of love is always a win, for ourselves and our children, for our families and the world. When we practice our loving every day, strong love will become our natural way, for ourselves and our children, for our families and the world. Bohu nášmu slávu. I have sung this as a solo, but also have experimented with it with different linia, but I will sing it for you as a solo, a psalm as a solo. So it'll be a little different. Life is full of decisions, big and small. Let us make the ones that are best for all. Let us make the ones that are best for all, for ourselves and our children, for our families and the world, for ourselves and our children, for our families and the world. Let us widen our heart space deep within, for the choice of love is always a win, for the choice of love is always a win, for ourselves and our children, for our families and the world, for ourselves and our children, for our families and the world. When we practice our loving every day, strong love will become our natural way. Strong love will become our natural way, for ourselves and our children, for our families and the world, for ourselves and our children, for our families and the world.
Thank you so much, Donna, for reminding us that we all have potential to create. That was beautiful.
The Grand Forks Community Doukhobor Choir was formed in the fall of 2012 in response to an invitation made by the Grand Forks Choir Society to join them in their Peace on Earth concert to be held in early December that year. Local Doukhobors of all ages were invited to take part in the choir, and in its first public appearance, there are 4 generations represented, from age 5 to 91. The choir has remained a group since then. We are grateful to have them join us this morning. Сейчас представляем вам группу из Grand Forksa.
Good morning, Berrigan family, honored guests, brothers and sisters. On behalf of the Grand Forks Community Doukhobor Choir, I wish to extend our warmest greetings and congratulations to the USCC Union of Youth and all of their supporters and helpers who have done such a wonderful job organizing the 71st Annual Festival. Our group is both happy and honored to be a part of this very special annual event. This festival continues to attract a congregation and audience that spans several generations, from our steadfast elders to enthusiastic youth. The collective wisdom and insight we all bring with us can enable us to understand and treasure past traditions and to chart and embrace a new vision for our Doukhobor community. This year's theme, Exploring Our Roots, Culturally and Spiritually, recognizes that we have a remarkable history and are the heirs of a rich and valuable heritage passed along by our Russian forebears, along with the more recent legacies left to us by our grandparents and great-grandparents here in Canada. Although we are now 3rd, 4th, and in some cases 5th generation Canadians, we still strive to keep a cultural connection with our Russian roots by maintaining the language. Our spiritual roots go back several centuries, to the brave spirit wrestlers who recognized that the essence of God lived in the hearts of human beings, not in gilded icons. To the deeply courageous ancestors who burned their weapons, saying, "We will kill no more." And to the undaunted pioneers who left their homeland and traveled halfway around the world to a strange new land. Throughout the centuries, our forefathers have passed along a legacy of principles and values that serves as a solid platform from which we, the Doukhobors of the 21st century, can move forward. Our choir will sing 3 hymns this morning. The first one is Pastor Dobry Ishik, the Good Shepherd searches for his lost lamb. Nina Hudikov leads the choir.
Thank you.
As most of you know, our community of Grand Forks has been hard hit by the worst flooding our area has seen in 70 years. Parts of the city have been virtually destroyed. People have been displaced, homes and possessions are lost. In so many ways, our community has been changed forever. Throughout this crisis, the citizens of Grand Forks and our friends and neighbors throughout Canada have demonstrated the most amazing generosity, kindness, and selflessness. They have volunteered their time to fill sandbags, to try save property, to provide food to evacuees and volunteers, provide shelter and clothing to those who lost their homes and contents, and to offer spiritual and emotional comfort to those who face the prospect of starting again and rebuilding their lives. It has been a time to set aside any differences and pull together as one. Our choir would like to dedicate this next hymn to our Grand Forks community. In so many ways, it has exemplified the values of sharing and brotherhood this hymn talks about. How happy would be this old world we are sharing if just one another we'd all understand. A neighbor would come to his neighbor declaring, all people are brothers, please give me your hand. O kak bi on strasliv bil mir et stari. The choir is led by Daphne Pop.
The values you cherish are also the ones that I love and defend, and hope that deceit and hypocrisy perish. So give me your hand as a peace-loving friend.
Raised by adoring and worshiping mothers, no matter the color or shade of our skin, all creeds and all races are sisters and brothers. So give me your hand, for in truth we are kin.
Wow.
Radosную pesnu miti per payom. We are singing a joyous song. Larry Kerniff leads the choir.
Radosную песню мы тебе поем, мы хвалу Богу всюду воздаем. За Его благие благоты Его к нам. О, аллилуйя, аллилуйя навсегда. В небесах мы живем, в небесах мы живем, в небесах мы живем, с торжеством в небесах мы живем. Торжествуй духовный, разумный народ, великую милость явил нам Господь, даровал свободу на пути святом. О, аллилуйя, аллилуйя навсегда. В небесах мы живем, в небесах мы живем, в небесах мы живем, с торжеством в небесах мы живем. И теперь свободе песню мы поем, слав святый духовный, свободный народ, неуклонно с верою стремись ты вперед. О, аллилуйя, аллилуйя навсегда. В небесах мы живем, в небесах мы живем, в небесах мы живем, с торжеством в небесах мы живем. Шествуй непрестанно по пути святом, слышим идеалом правды и любви. Свет Христов сияет у нас впереди. О, аллилуйя, аллилуйя навсегда. В небесах мы живем, в небесах мы живем, в небесах мы живем, с торжеством в небесах мы живем.
Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Grand Forks community, for bringing your strength and inspiration here today. Спасибо, дорогие наши братья и сестры из Гранд Форкса, за ваше воодушевленное выступление. The Kootenai Psalmists are a group of dedicated singers interested in gathering to learn and preserve historical Doukhobor psalms that have been passed down for many generations. One of their highlights last year was recording several heritage psalms for our guest from Russia, Alyona Minulina. When she visited the Doukhobor community during the 70th festival, they gathered every Wednesday and invite everyone interested to join them. Rich, скажет Lusha Bulanova, speech, read by Loretta Bulanov.
Good morning, everyone. As we all know, with the passage of time, historical events become part of our roots and they fade from our minds. On Easter Sunday, April 14, 1895, while training in a reserve battalion, Matvey Lebedev and and 10 others threw down their weapons. They were sent to a disciplinary battalion and exiled, along with 60 other men in active service who followed their example. They believed that all people are children of God and that all life is precious. They lived by faith. On St. Peter's Day, June 29, 1895, people from 3 villages between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea collected their own rifles, pistols, and swords, not the property of the government or landlords, and destroyed them in 3 separate fires in what is now Georgia, Azerbaijan, and Turkey. They became conscious that even to keep these weapons in their houses was a yielding to weakness and contrary to their principles. They lived by faith. The book, Christian Martyrdom in Russia, edited by Vladimir Chertkov, published in London in 1897, describes these people as men of sincere religion who esteem it their duty to live by those Christian principles which most of us profess with our lips and entirely violate in our lives. They looked to Christ's teachings for strength and allowed themselves to be transformed by it. Their lives showed that they believed in their hearts that the greatest commandments of Christ are to love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, with all your strength and all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. As a result of upholding these principles, the people were treated very roughly. They endured persecution, insults, tortures, humiliations, separations, sufferings, and illness. Some lived by faith to their deaths. They believed in a God of purposes and plans. They had confidence in the living King who was the creator of all things and who remains the same forever. It's easy to imagine that parents and grandparents prayed to be able to sacrifice themselves, to take their children's places and to save them from the punishment of breaking the human law. When the opportunity came to move to Canada and families were separated, they showed courage. They relied on the power of God to renew their strength, to face pain and grief with boldness and confidence. For the sake of the Lord, they were willing to leave their material life, father, mother, brothers, and sisters. Faith is defined as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, or trusting in something you cannot prove, but believing it to be true. In this present-day world of good is bad and up is down, do you have faith? Who or what is the object of your faith? If we compare ourselves to others and worry about what they think, we are using the wrong measuring stick. If we really, really want to know if we have faith in our Heavenly Father, we examine ourselves. We prove it to ourselves. Do our actions and what we say line up with the Word of Christ? A person with genuine faith shows it in their day-to-day lives, in their families and communities. In spite of what we may have been or done, we obey what we know and understand. We put Christ's teachings into practice, and then God's Holy Spirit comes to help us to understand more. We learn from experience that God's Word is true, and it becomes written on our hearts. By putting truth into practice, you train yourself to tell the difference between good and evil, right and wrong. You will want to continually turn away from bad habits, and you will desire to be like Jesus. You become reborn with a new personality. You put on a new personality. As we live for Jesus with our hearts, we enter the narrow gate, and we become less worldly as we follow the narrow path. We must each choose where to place our faith. Thank you for your attention.
Доброе утро. Иван Иванович, исполнительный директор Союза духовных общин Христа, Лукерия Петровна, вся ваша верийное семейство, молодежь, гости и все братья и сестры. Поздравляем вас с 71-м фестивалем. Пусть этот фестиваль даст нам возможность понять нашу наследие, нашу культуру и нашу надежду в нашей жизни. Первый номер мы споем псалом «Узрев много народа». Our psalm selection outlines Jesus Christ's teachings when he was speaking to the multitudes on the mountain. The psalm forms the basis of our Dukovor faith. Читает Люба Стушнева, запевает Лена Войкина.
Господи, благослови. Узрел много народа. Зашел Христос на гору. Шедшие с ним ученики его приступили к нему. И он, отверши уста свои, глаголит им. Блаженны нищие духом, ибо их ость Царствие Небесное. Помяни и нас, Господи, когда придешь в Царствие Свое. Блаженны плачущие, ибо они утешатся. Помяни и нас, Господи, когда придешь в Царствие Свое. Блаженны кроткие, ибо они наследуют землю. Помяни и нас, Господи, когда придешь в Царствие Свое. Блаженны алчущие и жаждущие правды, ибо они насытятся. Помяни и нас, Господи, когда придешь в Царствие Свое. Блаженны милостивые, ибо помилованы будут. Помяни и нас, Господи, когда придешь в Царствие Свое. Блаженные чистые сердцем, ибо они Бога узрят. Помяни и нас, Господи, когда придешь в Царствие Свое. Блаженны миротворцы, ибо они будут наречены сынами Божьими. Помяни и нас, Господи, когда придешь в Царствие Свое. Блаженны изгнанные за правду, ибо их есть Царствие Небесное. Помяни и нас, Господи, когда придешь в Царствие Свое. Блаженны вы, когда будут поносить вас и гнать, и всячески неправедно злословить за меня. Радуйтесь и веселитесь, ибо велика ваша награда на небесах. Так гнали и пророков, бывших прежде вас. Богу нашему слава.
Yeah.
We're allowed to make mistakes, right? Our next is a hymn. We move in undue haste through life, asks what we listen to the voice of Jesus Christ, who consoles and heals and saves us. Народ теснится и бежит, запевает Владимир Камей.
Chon
Our next hymn was composed by Ivan Sissoyev in 1921, refers to the life as a vessel that is steering us to a world without grief and adversity, where truth and love reign supreme. «Плыви, моя ладья, вперед», запевает Марья Камиль. Братья и сестры, приглашаем всех на псалмопение просто на будущей неделе. Долго не ждите. Пожалуйста, нам нужна помощь иногда. Я хочу вас оставить with this, it's on the back of the Iskra, it's part of the stick, a couple lines. there is room for us all in quiet, peaceful endeavors to toil for our bread on this wonderful word.
We are so grateful that you are all here with us today. Our babas and jedas are very precious to us. Sometimes we forget to tell you how precious. We deeply respect and acknowledge your commitment to us. Thank you to the Kootenai Psalmist for your wonderful program. Спасибо большое, дай Бог вам крепкого здоровья. Мы вас очень ценим и любим.
We still have another group just before lunch, so please stay with us. At this time, we'd like to introduce a group that will be going on a heritage trip to Russia this summer. Can you please step out to the front here, in front of the bread, salt, and water?
Hello? Testing?
Good afternoon. My name is Verna Postnikov, and I have organized the second trip to visit the Burning of the Arms sites. So I just have a little bit of information to share with you about the trip. Okay, a group of people from 3 different countries will be participating in this trip this summer. And Sandra Konkin to my left, Sharon Hudikoff to my right, will start off the trip by visiting the Burning of the Arms site first in Slavyanka, Azerbaijan. And then when we go to Georgia, a historian from London, England, by the name of Bruce J. Cadbury, will be joining us, as well as Victor Piskovoy and his daughter Olena from Warsaw, Poland. They'll join us in Tbilisi, and then we'll continue to Orlovka and then to Kars, Turkey. By the way, Victor is a very close personal friend of Barry Varigan's, and also a good friend of Sandra Konkin's. So we have a very interesting group going. Okay, I will continue. Okay, the dates of the heritage trip are from July 1st to July 22nd. I would like to mention some very interesting background information about Bruce J. Cadbury from London, who will be joining us on this trip. His great-grandfather, John Bellows, dedicated his time and energy to help to make the arrangements to have the Doukhobors set sail from Batumi, Georgia, first to Cyprus and then to Canada. So he'll be joining us on this trip. His great-grandfather wrote the book, John Bellows' Letters and Memoir, back in 1904, and maybe some of you are familiar with this book. So Mr. Cadbury wishes to learn more about our early Doukhobor history and to trace his great-grandfather's footsteps. There is the possibility that next year Mr. Cadbury will cross Canada from east to west to learn more about how the Doukhobors initially settled in Canada, and he's very interested in participating in our May Festival next year. So hopefully that will happen for him. I would also like to mention something interesting that's happening in Kars, Turkey right now. Okay, they are working on opening an official Molokan and Doukhobor museum. You know, so in downtown Kars. Okay, so they're just working on getting donations. You know, maybe I'll talk to John Varigan about it, you know, to see whether we could send them some items for their museum. Maybe this museum will be opening this summer when we're there. So that's really interesting. The reason they're doing this is because they want Kars to be the cultural hub of Turkey, because the Malikans live there, the Doukhobors live there, they have Armenians living there, etc., etc., etc. Tourists are starting to return to Turkey, in particular to visit Ani in eastern Turkey, which is a World Heritage Area. So I think that once they establish their Malikan and Doukhobor Museum, many of the tourists that go there to visit ancient Ani will certainly go and visit the Malikan and Doukhobor Museum. So hopefully we'll be a part of that making. Okay, so I will just say that, there is quite an interest in early Doukhobor history from people around the world, and I think we should take a lot of pride in this, and we really do have to kind of beat our own drums a bit to let people from around the world know how we're striving for peace and for all the efforts to make the world a better place. So again, our trip is from July 1st to the 22nd, and now we will ask for a blessing, for a safe journey, a peaceful journey, and an inspiring trip for all of us who are going.
Right on, Verna and Sharon and Sandy. So I'm not sure if Georgia and Russia and Turkey are ready for 3 good Doukhobor women. But that's fantastic that you folks are going, and you're going to be joined by other parties, and especially that fellow who's the grandson of that person that wrote the book. So that's like a full circle, and he may be coming here next year. Дорогие братья и сестры, эти 3 женщин желают, чтобы мы им дали благословение на успешную, благополучную, спокойную поездку. Некоторые возвращаются, они, во-первых, в сторону эту, я думаю, Сэнди занималась в Киев с братом во время Чернобыля. Вера вела туры неоднократно уже, 2-й или 3-й раз. Третий раз. А Сара впервые? Okay, so we have 1, 2, and 3. That's pretty nice. Пожалуйста, сестры, передайте наш привет, добрые пожелания со всеми, которые вы будете встречаться, особенно нашим духоборским единоверцам, но также нашим друзьям других стран. И я думаю, как по нашей традиции мы все встанем и пожелаем вам успешную командировку. Попросим нашего Создателя, Господа Бога, держать вас под Его крыльце, чтобы вы благополучно доехали, долетели, пробыли, проездили и благополучно назад домой вернулись к нам, чтобы всем нам рассказать, как все там есть. По нашей традиции, когда люди ездят на таких путешествиях, к нашим братьям и сестрам, мы передаем им земной поклон. Я поклонюсь, попросил вас передать, когда вы явитесь в Грузии, в России и будете в компании наших единоверцев. You will pass on that bow to our brothers and sisters when you get there, and и вас спасибо, Господи, братья и сестры. And ladies, have a wonderful, wonderful trip. Take all that in, and just think how lucky we are. And yes, you're going to be our propagandiste. You're going to be our ambassadors. Verna was saying that we should let more people know about what we do. we've had 300 years of getting to be real pros at hiding. Number one. And number two is, as Doukhobors, we don't believe in beating our own chests. But the world will know more by our deeds than our words. And you folks are doing a wonderful deed. So God bless you. Safe trip. And pass on greetings.
Щасливо пути и добрый час.
At some point throughout the day, we invite you to have a look at the displays downstairs. The YUD, your union choir, celebrating 50 years, has a special display, and the CIS also has a display, as well as a silent auction, and the bids will be closed at 3 p.m. Thank you.
The Sounds of the Heart Ladies Choir gathers for spiritual uplift through the song and personal sharing. The group participates in many community events concerning peace, justice, and environment. Приветствуем вас.
Добрый день. Иван Иванович Верихин, Лукерья Петровна и вся семейство Верихина, гости, братья, сестры и молодежь. Поздравляем всех вас на 71-й фестиваль. Откроем нашу программу с пением стиха. Пастырь добрый ищет, запевает Анна Чурсинова. Good afternoon, John J. Berrigan, Executive Director, Laura Berrigan, and all members of their family, guests, ladies, gentlemen, and youth. On behalf of the Sounds of the Heart Ladies Choir, I would like to take this opportunity to extend our sincere thank you to the Union of Youth Council for their invitation to enable our choir to participate today. We open our program with the hymn, The Benevolent Father Searching for His Wandering Flock. Ann Chersonoff leads the choir. our selected hymns is entitled Bringing Strength in Faith and Love, led by Katie Conroy.
День великий Господний идет, в силе славы на землю грядет, и откроется мир, новый мир, и откроется мир, новый мир, во всех странах и пределах земли ожидают великих терпений. Днем Спаситель во славе придет, днем Спаситель во славе придет. Вся земля обновится тогда от небесной росы навсегда. Удел для святых всех племен, удел для святых всех племен. Обновись ты, спасенный народ, приуправься и будь ты готов, чтоб войти в новый мир, чтоб войти в новый мир, твердой верой, надеждой, любви, укрепляйте стопы на пути, чтоб вам смело по нем всем пройти, чтоб вам смело по нем всем пройти, всем великим страдальцам святым, им награда от Бога дана, что хранили любовь до конца, что хранили любовь до конца.
Наш заключительный стих говорит: «Желаем, чтоб все жили мирно и свободно на свете». Автор этого стиха Сергей Плотников из Краснодара. Надя Сапрыкина запевает. Our concluding hymn, Bells of Peace, is repeated from our last evening's program as we felt it conveyed a profound message. Lyrics and music were composed by Serge Plotnikov of Kapsalar. The choir is led by Edna Saperkin.
May the youth of tomorrow bring peace on earth someday. May they never see the sorrow and the bloodshed of today. May they never see a soldier who must die. May they never see a family and a mother left to cry. May the bells of peace start ringing throughout the world in harmony. May the bells of peace start ringing in every land from sea to sea. The bells of peace, the bells of peace, ringing in the valleys, ringing on the mountains, ringing everywhere so loud and clear, ringing in the cities, ringing on the ocean, ringing everywhere so the world can in the cities, ringing on the ocean, ringing everywhere so the world can hear. The bells of peace, the bells of peace, the bells of peace, the bells of peace.
Желаем всем счастья и доброго здоровья. Спасибо. We wish everyone good health and happiness. Thank you.
Ladies, thank you for sharing your special harmonies with us all. Spasiba вам за прекрасные пения. This now concludes the morning session of the festival. If you have packed a picnic, please enjoy it on the grounds or on the cafe tables downstairs. For anyone around the area after lunch, please help yourself to some watermelon and goodies downstairs. Our afternoon session starts at 2 o'clock. Thank you, have a nice lunch, and we will see you soon.